Hi, this is a tutorial for setting up the hammer prop to your character. So this is the character with both hands on the prop. So what we're going to be controlling with this setup is basically the left hand, which controls everything, rotation, and translation. The right hand is attached, so it's coming in for a free ride when I move my left hand, and the left hand controls the hammer, and the right hand is controlled by attached to the hammer. Okay, so one thing that's important is to notice like how the orientation of the hand, um, the the angle of the hand should be very close to the angle of the hammer. We want the hammer when you're striking at this pose to have kind of palms parallel to the hammer head. Okay, so that's very important for you to don't have any problems with the wrist later on when you're posing. So let's start with optimizing your character. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be using both arms and hands in IK. So these controls were for the IK. Since we're on IK right now, we won't be needing it. So I'm going to create a layer display to just hide it. Same thing for this IK spine control. I'm going to hide that. So all these, same thing with the toe controls. I'm not going to use that control. So all this, I'm going to create a layer for it. So I'm just going to rename this hidden controls and save. So now we can just hide it through just pressing the V. So next thing, we'll create a key all for now. Actually, we can do that later because some of the once I constrain it, the hands constrained to, especially the right hand. I don't want it to be keying it, or else it's going to break the constraint. Okay, so quickly here, I'm ready to pose it. So I'm just going to quickly pose this. So this hand, I'm just going to go for a quick posing, very straightforward, kind of something like that. And the other side, same thing. I'll move it so I have kind of room for the hammer. So notice my hands I'm trying as much as possible to have it close to perpendicular to the ground, because I want to get my hammer. I want to set up my hammer head like, whoops, not this one, but this one. So my hammer, I'm gonna go, it's gonna have it -90 and 90 here too. So it's very parallel. Just rotating those. So I'm going to position them now to my my character. Try to have a good pose with your hands. The hands is a bit tricky to pose on this character, especially for the thumbs. The thumb is very tight in there, so for the key pose for the hands, I usually want to just rotate the fingers, the top end of the fingers, like so. And that's kind of okay. I maybe just rotate this a bit. Just to have a bit of control on it, like so. And the thumbs, I want to have a good cupping grip to it too. So something like so. All right. Same thing with this side. I'll do the same. And then the knuckles. Like so. And I'm gonna adjust the height to where I want to check, see if it's having a good grip. Just making sure it's a good pose for the hands. So here, okay. So that's roughly pretty good for that pose there. And this one too. Okay, so now this is ready to be set up. Make sure when you pose it to have the left hand. The left hand is going to be controlling everything. Make sure you have it near the end of the shaft of the hammer. Okay, so we're going to start using some locators. So I'm going to create a locator. I'm going to rename it the hammer base. And I'm going to align it to the hammer control. Okay, so I'm going to go to I'm going to select the locator and then the control. Go to modify, match transform, match all transform. So once I hit that, it's going to align to that. So next one, we're going to, I'm just going to duplicate. So I'm going to Control D, duplicate it. This one, I'm going to name it shaft. So this locator is the one that's going to be inside the shaft of the hammer. So, and make sure this is in local when you move the in translation. So right now I can move it inside the shaft, and it's this locator that I'm using to control my hands later on when I want to slide it up and down the shaft, or I can control the wrist too. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to create another locator, and this one we're going to name it right hand. So this third one, I'm going to align it to my right hand control. So go to modify, match all transform. So now it's all set up there. So I have all the locators in the good place. So now I'm going to parent them, starting with the right hand to the shaft, and then the shaft to the hammer base. So you can do this several ways. You can select the right hand and then the shaft and press P. Same thing, the shaft and then hammer base and hit P. And now you can see all the hierarchy should look like this. So you can do this too by middle click and dragging it to shaft to hierarchy it. So now see here it's hierarchied, and then the shaft to the base. Okay. So now that's ready. Now we can constrain the hammer base to the hammer control. So what this is different from parenting. So in constrain, make sure you open the options. So check the maintain offset for this one. So in constraint parent constraint, you have to select the parent first, then the child. So since I want the control to hold to control the locator, then I select the parent first, then the child, like so, and then I hit apply. So now it becomes blue here. That means this locator has a constraint parent to it. You can also see the parent control here, and here it says parent constraint. So next thing is I want this control to be driven by the left hand. So the left hand is the parent. Select that first, and then the child will be your hammer control. And then I hit apply. So now the hammer control has a blue constraint indicator. So now when I move this, everything follows, and I rotate it, everything follows. Okay. So last thing to constrain is we want to constrain the hammer, the right hand to the locator right hand. So this will be driving the right hand. It's coming in for a ride. This is the parent, and then this is the child. So click apply. So the right hand has a constraint now. Okay. So now when we select the shaft, this is going to be controlling your wrist, or we can be sliding it up and down. So a couple of things, we don't want to key it, because if we key the constraint like this one, it's going to break. So we're going to select the two controls here, and then we can create a layer and just hide it so we don't accidentally key it. So we can say right hand hammer control. And then we can just hide it. Okay. So now we have these two that we don't want to key this one. This one you can key it, but I prefer to be just animating this one where you control the right hand. It's going to be stuck in holding the shaft. We'll keep it simple. So we wanna this locator, we're going to lock all the parameters. So select those two and just select it from this side and select down and then right click and then lock selected. So now all the controllers, you cannot key them. Okay. The last thing is the shaft. We will be able to slide it on the Y, and same thing, rotation on the Y. Okay, so we'll lock everything else except the translate Y and the rotate Y. So I'm gonna lock that. So now I don't want to be accidentally rotating and it comes off the shaft. I just want to be rotating it on the Y and translate on the Y. So there you go. That's the setup for the hammer. So now what we can animate, pose it like so. Okay. I can create, I have some poses, the initial pose I have, I can just bring it in through my library, make sure Bony fix. So when I select the content, it's going to select all so these are, we can now create all the key posing for, we can select the key all. Okay, so we don't want to key these. And this is going to be my key all selection. I'll create that. And key all. So there you go. That's my key all. We can select it. And then we'll say key. Press S. So now we have a key here, and then it's gonna bring in my pose here. With that selected, I can say apply. And that was my more neutral kind of pose. So I'm gonna key this. I'm just gonna do adjustments since this one is kind of pulling. So I'm gonna adjust this a bit more. So it's not pulling. Okay. So voila, that's how you do the setup for the hammer.